just flat out ridiculous. As we broke down in yesterday's contest, Joe Mazzulla obviously getting some heated exchanged words with the referees following this contest. But the stars of the team have spoken out as well, referring to Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, as they both received technical fouls, had some things to say, and we got a press report from the referees on why these technical fouls were assessed. So we're going to be looking at all of that and more and seeing, was this some fair judgment for the Celtics or were they screwed? We'll be diving into all of that and more. Without further ado, I'm Bruce Velez. Welcome back to Celtics Digest. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support over the last couple of days. We really do appreciate it. So if you do enjoy the content, make sure to continue to hit that like button. And without further ado, grab a snack as we're going to be diving into all of the news. And like I said, this is still wild to talk about, still wild to break down, as we're a little bit, not 24 hours removed yet, but would say around 16 to 18 hours removed from the contest where the Celtics fell to the Chicago Bulls last night. And not only were the referees a big part of the way the Celtics lost the game, but also how the Celtics played basketball. They weren't shooting great from three-point range. They played horribly defensively in the second half. They were unable to get any rebounds, create any separation from Nikola Vucevic, as he was just absolutely feasting. And guys like Ayo Dosunmu, the Celtics killer, woke up in the fourth, and Zach LaVine was just torching up the Celtics offensively. Celtics had some shooting struggles, weren't playing the best defensively in the second half, and ultimately they fell. But a big swing in that game was when the referees got very technical, and when that happened, the Celtics were only down 3 points to my knowledge. That allowed the Bulls to get 2 technical fouls and a three to increase that lead back up to 8, and that's just absolutely insane and cannot be happening, especially in the NBA. And if you missed the video yesterday, go check it out right here. If you want to look at it, I got it right here for all you guys. Here it is. NBA just screwed the Celtics. Go check that one out yesterday. But let's dive in and let's look at some more news. As we got some from Jaylen Brown. We got some from Jayson Tatum as well. So obviously Noah Dalzell, she asked Jaylen Brown where or why he received the tech, and he says that he gave him the tech for obviously just kind of being out there in the court and for talking back. And if we want to get a little bit of an insider info, they'll get in the full quote courtesy of Jack Simone. This is what Jaylen Brown had to say. He says, "Here's the thing: you get fined. I get fined for a couple weeks ago for misadvent gestures, but what's part of the game of the ref is not advertent technical foul. I said to him, you called a tech for no reason. He said, if you say it to me again, I'm going to call another tech. I said again, you called the tech for no reason. Then he called a tech. I'm like, man, get out of here. You can't, there's guys with the technical, you can't threaten guys with the technical foul. That's not part of the game either. You want to find people for gestures and all that stuff. Fine. I like that. That's some bullshit. Like we said, doing down 3 at that time on the jump ball, then that led us being down 8. This affects the game. This could have been avoided. Joe didn't say anything to deserve a tech, and then when I come up to him and say, you gave him a tech for no reason, as a captain before the game, I come up and shake hands with all the referees before I speak to them for my team. I'm allowed to talk, so when I tell you, you just called a tech for no reason, and you find a way to say it again, I call another tech, then I say it again, and you call a tech, you just you just use your whistle as a threat, like it's not part of the game either, and that's why it's bullshit. And I completely agree with JB here in every single way. You cannot be threatening these players with technicals, and especially if you're Jaylen Brown, like you said, you feel yourself as one of the better players on this team. You are a captain of this team. You walk up, you shake the referee's hands, you make sure that they're not going to affect your day, you're not going to affect their day. And the fact that he got a technical for saying, you're really going to give Joe a tech, and he said, oh, I'll give you it. That is absolute BS and a bullshit, and I am 100% with Jaylen Brown on this. Like I said, the referees can get in their pants some ways, and like Jaylen Brown said, you can fine him for an obscene gesture. He made the little slit the knife throat when he dunked on somebody in the Pistons game, and he was fined for that. That is totally fair. He's just having fun, showing some mockery, maybe getting a little bit too in his head. You get him for that. That's totally okay. A fine to Jaylen Brown is nothing. But if you fine him for the integrity of the game, or for him asking a question, or him trying to find out an answer and what he could do to maybe not let this happen again, or kind of overcome this situation, that is just a clear power trip. And in yesterday's video, we broke that down. Obviously, the referees were on some power trip in this game, but you cannot just let this slide. You cannot just let this happen, because what happens if this is happening in a game with the Wizards and the Spurs, two teams that nobody's really watching besides Victor Wembanyama, and it's on a league pass? Or for a better example, what if it's between the Wizards and the Jazz? Are you just going to turn a blind eye just because, oh, it's the Wizards and Jazz, no one really cares? No, you referee every single game with the same intent, the same integrity, and with the same purpose, to give the players the best opportunity to win a game. And giving a technical foul and threatening a player with a technical foul, basically for no reason, just for him asking a simple question, is utter ridiculousness and needs to be taken action. The league needs to do something about this, kind of figure out what they can do to kind of harp on these things because they ask, oh, why are the ratings going down? Oh, why is this happening? And there's a multitude of all these aspects, streaming platforms, people not owning cable, the accessibility of games not being readily available for fans because if they have League Pass, it's blocked out in their area. I know, right? Because they have to have cable to watch the game. Absolute ridiculousness. But this is just an added factor on top of that. Having the referees control the games, having the referees dictate how the game ends out is not fair to the players. And this, like I said, Jaylen Brown said, in this game, the Celtics were only down 3 points at this time, in which they gave him a 3 and gave him 2 extra free throws to bring the lead to 8. That is not acceptable and cannot be happening in these games. And Jayson Tatum, who also received a technical foul later on in the contest, had something else to speak as well. In his response from Justin Turpin here, we can see it was tough. The segment was justified by the ref, by Justin, that he had changed the segment of the game. You don't necessarily want that. You're about the players to play and dictate the game. And exactly, you're dictating the game. You don't decide just because the player said something, you give him a technical foul, and that changes the whole course of the game. It's absolutely ridiculous that the refs feel a way that they have some sort of power over these players when the players are the reason that the NBA makes money. They're the reason that the players are the reason why the NBA is successful. They're the reasons why the fans care. The players is the main effect of the appeal of the league. It's who is playing. So how can someone who's controlling how these players play just get to dictate how their game is going to work for them on a random night just because they feel like they can control that aspect? Absolute ridiculousness and straight blasphemy coming out of here from these referees. A referee, and I want to make sure I get his name right. I believe it is Justin Van Dwyne, maybe. Believe that's his name. You should have to deal with some sort of reciprocation of doing this because this is just bad for the league and bad for its fans. If we want to look at the league report coming out as well from the referees, this is what the refs had to say on why they assess these techs. So, question was, what did Joe Mazzulla do that warranted this technical foul? He was out of the coaching box and on the floor. So it wasn't anything he said? Nope, it wasn't. Well, what did Jaylen Brown do to warrant his technical foul? He questioned our integrity multiple times during the same sentence. What did Jayson Tatum do to warrant his technical foul? Tatum received a respect of the game technical for an overt action towards an official. That is why Jayson Tatum got his technical foul, because he received a respect for the game technical for an overt action towards an official. If I don't know what a power trip is, that is the clear definition of what that is. Joe got a technical for not even. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button. Joe got a technical foul for not even saying what he said to the referees for stepping out of the coaching box. Now, we have seen coaches in the NBA this season move up and down the coaching line, screaming, moving back and forth. Coaches step out of the box. Does every single coach that does that get a technical foul? I can tell you from every game that I've watched of the Celtics this year and the Suns, from when I watch Suns Digest, I can tell you that that does not happen every single time a coach is moved. So something was going on with Justin here tonight in his, feelings with this Boston Celtics team. We obviously know when Tony Brothers in town, it's always not the greatest sign for the Boston Celtics fans. And you can hear from this response, obviously he wasn't, feeling it either. Just absolute ridiculousness. This stuff cannot happen. And the NBA questions why they're losing ratings, why they're losing fans, why people are not interested in this game. And yes, this is not the main aspect of it, but this is one domino that does fall in that effectiveness, that does stack up, that does lead up. And if one of those dominoes falls, guess what? More are going to keep coming. And trust me, if this keeps happening, there are going to be some obscene things going wrong. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, this is absolutely ridiculous. I know the Celtics obviously didn't lose the game due to the fact of the refereeing issues, but it definitely was a main issue in some of the game, added to the fact that they definitely struggled defensively and they ultimately couldn't hit any 3-pointers. But stuff like this cannot be happening and gives fans outrage, including myself. And let me know what you guys would do if you're not a Celtics fan down below in the comment section watching this video. If this was your team and this was treated, how would you guys honestly feel? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. You guys have been showing your utmost support on the channel. We're really, really appreciative over here. So if you do enjoy the content, make sure to keep showing that love, hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button, helping us get to 6,000 subscribers before the start of the new year. Like I said, we'll have a video coming out tomorrow going out over the Celtics. They have another game versus the Bulls on tomorrow as well in Chicago this time. So hopefully they'll be able to look and get some revenge and maybe some help from the referees on the road. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, you guys are fantastic. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day and peace out.